Hey, welcome to Half the Battle. Last time we looked at the cartoon, it was another one of Cobra Commander's zany schemes. Not this time though.
Today we review the greenhouse effect.
It is a very poignant reflection on the very real threat of global warming and the repercussions it has on rural and urban... Okay, I'm just kidding. It's all about giant mutant plants.
We start the episode with a scientist, the non-mad variety for once, testing a new type of jet fuel that causes no pollution whatsoever. I can only imagine that it's made of unicorn farts and leprechaun pee. Cobra has an agent at the facility though, who is ordered to steal the new fuel. This is a Crimson Guard, one of the Cobra elite troops, who are too valuable to waste on the battlefield. So he is sure to be stealthy and deadly, hiding in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
Nope!
He just attacks four Joes with a mop and bucket. And this works, because they are hilariously incompetent. I mean, he throws his bucket, that somehow traps Barbecue's foot, and throws the mop in Alpine's face. He then casually steals the fuel, while Bazooka and Wild Bill do absolutely freaking nothing to stop him, because they're too busy trying to get the damn bucket off.
Let me repeat that for those of you who blacked out momentarily because of the stupid. They completely ignore the guy because they saw something shiny.
And the guy gets away after more shenanigans with a trash can. You know, this episode would have been over pretty quickly if the Joes, the guy specifically sent the guard to freaking experiment, had guns on them. But apparently they don't, because they never once pull a weapon on the guy. The Joes are hot on his trail though, so the guy has no choice but to hide in a random greenhouse. The owner spots him, however, and calls the cops. Since he can't be caught with the fuel canister, he hides the thing in one of the pots. And, after a brief struggle with the cops, that causes the canister to leak, by the way, he's taken out by the greenhouse owner, who we'll call Harvey, because, well, that's his name. Literally seconds after they all leave the greenhouse, the fuel causes all the plants to start growing to giant size.
Because drugs were plentiful and cheap for Hollywood writers during the 80s.
Mop and Bucket Guy gets a visit in jail from Tomax and Zaymot, and they devise a plan to get the fuel back, since the idiot can't remember where he left the damn thing. They'll have to send their Crimson Guards to check every single greenhouse in town. They are unsuccessful, so those scenes were a huge waste of time. I do like how one of the elite secret agents apparently wears a Cobra t-shirt under her disguise. Really being covert there, aren't we? This would be like if Superman walked around with his shirt unbuttoned all the goddamn time. Harvey finds his plants that have grown to record size, and because he's a dumbass, leaps to the conclusion that they've grown because of his secret plant food. So he takes his crops to the county fair.
Unfortunately for my sanity, the fruit is angry and attacks.
I am being deadly serious here. The produce keeps growing and launches itself from its shells and plants with ridiculous force. The Joes notice the ruckus and come in to help. It's here we get another career highlight for Bazooka, as he's defeated by a potato. Help! Just then, Destro arrives on the scene and immediately finds the fuel canister. He gets back to the chopper under the cover fire of a giant exploding corn cob. And there's a sentence I never thought I'd say. The Joes catch up with him, and in a pretty goddamn awesome series of events, they take out his helicopter, so he uses his wrist rockets to swing over to their Dragonfly like he's freaking Spider-Man, and kicks them out. He gets away, but he does lose the canister. He then reports to Cobra Commander.
With expendable fruits and vegetables replacing Cobra's ground troops, we could overrun the world.
What?
With expendable fruits and vegetables replacing Cobra's ground troops, we could overrun the world.
That's it. My show is done. I mean, there's no way I can ever top that, is there? That sentence is the most ridiculous thing that'll ever be uttered in G.I. Joe. Yeah, I might as well pack it in, people. I mean, we've hit peak.
Cobra Commander once lost a fight to a bunch of kindergartners.
Really?
Yes, you seem to have forgotten that we've still got the Deke series. We haven't peaked yet.
That's right! Looks like there's hope for the future yet, folks.
Anyway, Cobra Commander is less than impressed.
You let them have the fuel and bring me a bean?
But
I fear for your sanity, Destro.
Yeah, you know what? This may shock you, but I'm gonna have to side with the commander on this one. Replace your troops with vegetables doesn't seem to be very sane outside of Killer Tomatoes movies. Yeah, Destro, the usual straight man, is the one with the zany scheme this time. The commander soon gets convinced though when he loses a fight with a giant frickin' beanstalk. No confirmation if there's a giant living on the end of it. Cobra uses their new plant weapons to attack Chicago, so the Joes have to scramble to come up with an answer. Airtight is the point man, of course, searching for an extreme weed killer. The Joes engage both Cobra and the giant produce. While Cobra loses as per usual, the Joes appear to be no match for the huge inanimate objects.
This seems to be the theme of the episode. Trained elite soldiers getting defeated by objects.
Like a bucket, a mop, or a giant potato. Your highly trained special mission force, everybody. Airtight arrives just in the nick of time with his working miracle cure. They use it to seed the clouds, causing what I think amounts to acid rain. That's right, the Joe's solution is to rain down poison from the heavens on all of Chicago. And it works. It stops the giant plants. But I'm pretty sure it should kill absolutely everybody in the city at the same time. But of course this doesn't happen, and the day is saved. And we end the episode with Harvey pretending he was the hero of the story, even though he did bugger all.
Yes, sirree. It was right then and there that G.I. Joe came to me and asked my advice. Scared? Me? Why, I don't even know the meaning of the word.
So, that was the greenhouse effect.
How to properly formulate my thoughts on this?
Was the plot stupid? Yup. Was this all very silly? You betcha. Did they stretch credibility further than that theory that the British royal family are lizard people from outer space? Yeah, they did. Was this a really fun and awesome episode to watch?
Hell yes it was!
Yeah, despite all my snark, I really enjoyed this episode. This is a perfect example of an absurd plot done right, and one of the reasons I love the Sunbow cartoon. It's silly and it works. It's also a good example of why the Deke series was so much worse. Those episodes got plenty absurd too, but they relied on people acting out of character or behaving way dumber than they're supposed to be. So it just ends up insulting your intelligence, or in some cases, insulting an entire gender.
Oh, Duke, look! Another sail!
No, I'm never letting that one go.
There are a few nitpicky things that I should point out because, well, that's my job. Barbecue's hair is blonde in this episode for some reason, while it's usually brown. Also, bazooka shoots lasers. And not because of an animation mistake or anything, he points this out himself.
Lasers have no effect.
My conclusion is a simple one. You should watch this episode. It's about as weird as the Sunbow series gets, but it's done very well. Well, see you next week, everybody.